Episode 3 of the watering hole.
Episode 3, we made it this far.
We did. Fun.
Today we're going to talk about your car.
Yeah.
So recently,
Yeah, I've had this thing for a very long time.
so give us the backstory of the car.
So I got the car. It's a 05 Saab 9-2X Aero, which is like a 05 WRX, but it's a Saabura. A lot of people think that it's like mostly Saab, but it's actually mostly Subaru. It's got the same wiring harness, frame rails, doors, like everything is the same as 05 WRX wagon. Really the only thing that's Saab about is like the bumpers, the taillights, headlights, hood, and the badges. So I always wanted one because they're kind of rare. They never made a 6-speed one. They made an STI version. And then you just don't really ever see them. So I got one as a daily. I bought a shell from Texas. Super clean. I had it shipped to my house. This was back in like 2016, 15 or 16. And I was just going to throw just a slap together engine in it and just daily it with like a VF39, tune it on carburetor around, just daily it. And I couldn't muscle up the parts to make a good used motor. And at the time I had an RSTI that had an EJ207 in it that was perfectly healthy. But I was trying to do some other crazy build with the RSTI, so I took the engine out of that car, put the 207 in my Saabura, got it running. It was fun. Tuned it on the 85, super fun car, drove around, and of course I fell in love with that car. So I ended up just ditching the RSTI, built this car. It probably made like, I don't know, 360, 370 horsepower in the 85. And I blew the transmission apart because I had a 5-speed in it at the time. That was kind of embarrassing. Actually, at the time I was a part of a DSM Evo group in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I went to the DSM shootout. And I did the dyno thing. You pay like $50 to dyno your car in front of everybody. I was like, man, this thing eats. So, I'm the only Subaru guy there, and everybody's already giving me a bunch of flack for it. So, throw my car up there, and he does a pull in third gear, and it blows the trans apart right on the dyno. So, towed it home, said, all right, screw this, taking the full 6-speed swap out of my RSTI. Took 6-speed out, Brembos, everything, full STI swap, my Saabura. Got DCCD working and everything. And then I wanted to be crazy and do something no one else has done and rotate a stock turbo. So I took a JDM VF30, which is the version 7 STI turbo, which is arguably the biggest one. And I had a custom built wheel made for it. And I ran that thing at like 32 PSI, rotated. I got B&M rotated, full B&M rotated kit. He's like, you really want me to put a stock VF flange on this rotated kit? I'm like, I know, it's wild. I got pictures of that too. So I did that. I never had the car on the dyno with that, but virtual dyno set right around 400. So the car, it ripped for sure. It held like 22 PSI boost all the way to 8,000 RPMs, which I was really impressed with. I autocrossed the car. I drag raced the car a whole bunch, and then I ended up taking the tail of the Dragon in 2018. Car was really spicy, and I blew it up there. Go figure. After many hours and years of beating on that 207, I finally spun a bearing. Towed it home, built a motor for it. After a long series of events, I pieced together a bunch of stuff. Piston manufacturer made a mistake with the pistons. So we took my engine apart because it had low oil pressure. We looked in the pickup tube and noticed all these chunks in the pickup tube. Like, okay, that's a little weird because there's nothing inside of my engine that is this color or this texture. So we pulled apart the entire engine and found that the Teflon coating on these skirt coating came off the pistons, killed my new engine. And at that point, I had just moved to South Carolina from Indiana. I took it apart, parted it out, I was like, I'll start over again someday. So I just parted it all out, kept some of the good stuff, and it just sat in my garage for 4 years on jack stands with no subframe, no brakes, no nothing, no wire harness. The thing was just gutted into nothing. And then about the beginning of 2024, Darren, my business partner, was like, we should put this back together, because I was about to scrap it. I was about to just throw it away.
Yeah, I remember when you and him were having the talk, like for maybe like a week or two, and you just kept going back and forth and like, what should we do with the Saabura? And I was like, I don't know. And you were just like, I think I'm just gonna scrap it. And then you were trying to like sell parts off of it still. And you're like, should I sell the tail light? Should I sell this? I was like, I don't know. Maybe you should just put it back together.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, I remember the day you came to me like, hey, you want to go pick up my sock from my house? I was like,
Oh boy.
and I was like, sure, I guess.
We had a dolly too.
Yeah,
so
we had to
dolly was
go.
funny.
So that same day we went to U-Haul, got a dolly, strapped it to my truck, and then drove it all the way here. It was just like no steering, no brakes.
Yeah, nothing. It was super sketchy, but it made it here.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of plucked away at it. But now it's got 5-speed that we bought from a customer when we 6-speed swapped their car. It's got an R160 out of, I don't know where. We have a bunch of R160 ditch laying around, so I just slapped that in there. Rear axles out of my Impreza. Front axles out of my Impreza. I bought a new clutch, stage 2. We built a stock, what we call stock block, freak long block, with good head studs, head gaskets. We do all our oil porting on it and everything. Good valve spring, so it can rev a little higher. It's got Darren's little turbo kit, which was the Bullseye Borg Warner, which is like a Cobalt SS ZZP performance turbo. So yeah, Darren's car made 360 on 85 with a bone stock 2-liter with low compression with that turbo on only 20 pounds. So this engine spools it a lot faster. I'm fully anticipating breaking this 5-speed.
What ECU are you running?
Just a 02 to 04 USTM WRX ECU, so we can run carb race. We got like ignition cut launch control. We can work. It's on speed density, so no mass airflow sensor. I think all in all, I don't even think we have $1,000 in this car. Because I think the clutch.
As in parts, yeah.
Yeah.
Is everything used or just lying around the shop?
Yeah. Like literally the block, I built out of like used rods, used crank, used block, sanded the deck surface by hand, like oil pumps used that we imported and did all our stuff too. But yeah, it's got 125 miles on it that are very hard because it's my car and I'm gonna break it in that way. So I think, I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks we'll strap it on the dyno and see if we can handle like 450, 500 horsepower. I think we'll run out of fuel there.
I don't know.
Because it's just got ID 1050s in
it. I'd say maybe around 400.
I think we're either going to run out of injector or run out of clutch.
What's transmission?
John Michaels made 505 on 5-speed.
Yeah, blast plates.
Oh boy.
So what are your plans with the car moving forward? Just use it as a fun daily driver? Or are you going to do something silly?
I just want it to be cheap and fun, and we'll take it to the track. We'll go to the drag strip. The car's super light because we got it. Like it has nothing on the inside.
Just 2 front seats.
Yeah, the thing is super lightweight. So that helps keep the 5-speed together as well. That's why Darren never blew his car. We broke transfer gears when it was rear-wheel drive, but after we made it all-wheel drive, we never broke his 5-speed just because it's so light. I would like for us all to go to a road course event. I got my Bremos on it with all the track stuff. Maybe do some drag racing, and I don't know. Just keep it as a cheap, simple, beat the heck out of it car. One thing Darren taught me is the car you care the least about, you have the most fun in. We haven't spent a lot of money on this, just some time. But even if we kill the engine, I'll just slap together some other used part engine and enjoy it. It's nice not caring too much about it.
Yeah. And Darren's not here today because he's actually working on his little project car.
It's like version 3 or 4 of his car.
He's doing some new upgrades to it. So on the next podcast, we'll have him explain what he's doing to his W.
He calls it the W. I don't know what we're going to call this yet. I've always called it the Saab, but I might call it the Battle Wagon. So my dad used to call his race car. And it is a wagon, so, you know, and it's all black.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a wagon.
You are. And it's yellow, so it's like super abstract.
I have 2 trucks.
There you go. Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be for maybe after Darren's video. I'll talk about the new
that's
project.
gonna be, oh boy.
Yeah. But I guess for this segment of the podcast, we're going to talk about our personal vehicles and the little projects we're working on around the shop. But until next time, we'll see you then.
The watering hole.
Watering hole.